There we go. Wait just one more minute. So when we flew to Croatia, we went through Poland.
Okay.
And so I was hoping that that wasn't where you have to go through. Yeah. 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 Ready? Oh, there's Kleenex right there. Okay. 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 Well, should we get started? Some of you know this already, but for those of you that weren't here Tuesday, we're doing kind of a crossover class. And the reason I got started on this is my niece, I had lunch with her last weekend. She's moving to Colorado, so I drove some furniture down to Des Moines for her, and she took me out to lunch. But anyway, she has 2 young kids, and she was telling me how her son that's on the spectrum has done these crossover trainings, and it's really helped them. And those of you in education know about this, right? And it's supposed to help them so their right and left hemispheres work together better. So for coordination, and they've shown that it improves reading skills and all these other things. Yeah. And it's also good for us that have been around for a while. And so, so it helps with like walking coordination. And then if you just ever feel unbalanced, to try and bring the 2 hemispheres of the brain together. So I thought it was worth a try, just kind of exploring some of these movements that they showed me. And so I did a little research, and so we'll try some today. We do crossover a lot in yoga anyway. So so anytime you use opposite hand and leg, or that's kind of crossover. Just kind of thinking opposites. So anyway, and then I got to thinking, well, with the political climate nowadays, how we like to be so divided on everything, that if you could actually cross over and put yourself in someone else's shoes and try and understand where they're coming from, that it will really help with how we all get along in this world. So I want you to think about that, there's compassion, which is really feeling someone else's feelings and passions. And then there's empathy, which is actually trying to understand someone else's position. And, maybe you can consider how they were brought up or what conditions they've lived into this point that give them a different point of view. So maybe you can cross over a little bit and say, oh, So let's just start by closing our eyes. And just check in with your brain this morning. How is it feeling? Feel your spine nice and long. Maybe feel yourself grounded. Extending up out of that. And please bring your hands to heart center. May we all appreciate that we were all created by something greater. We all have light within us. We can appreciate that aspect of everyone we meet. We just look for the good in others, in ourselves, in all things. Please lower your hands, open your eyes, and just sit in Sukhasana. So with your feet under your knees, you can stay on your blanket. We're just going to start with a little twist. So this is a crossover. So bring your left hand to your right knee. Maybe your right hand behind you. Enjoy a little twist. And then go ahead and switch on over to the other side. This is a slow crossover. And then come on back to center. Scoot your blankie out of the way. Let's do a little warm up since we still seem to have that colder weather sticking around. So bring your hands behind you. Just feel your feet grounded. Lengthen your spine. Draw your rib cage back. Try to keep the curve as you bring your hands behind your thighs and lift the shins for Navasana. And then extend your arms, see if you can keep it. And then for a little crossover, bring both hands to the right side. And up and over to the left side. And back to center. And come on back down. And please come on up to standing. Just stand in your best Tadasana. Sorry, Mike's being too noisy today. Know what he's doing up there. He just got up too. I was like, and just start swinging your arms side to side. Well, that's kind of crossover, but it's easy, mindless crossover. But it helps warm everything up. Keep weight in both feet. Good, and then pause in the middle with your arms extended. Reach your right hand towards your left hand and then just slide the arm back and switch. Really feel everything in your core, just moving and stretching. Feel shoulders on the back, ribcage engaged. Reach. One more time each side. Good, and then bring hands to your hips. Now we're just going to do a little crossover with the feet. So shift your weight to your right foot, touch your left toes across the body, and then come back. And then switch. And keep going. If you want to, you can add a little arm movement. So when you touch your right foot, you bring your left arm forward and switch.
You think this would be easy?
You make it think. So it's the side that your foot is going to, that arm stretches. Yeah, you have to think. And then if you want to, you can actually lift the foot instead of touching and reach your hand towards the toes. If you want to touch the toes, you can. Just keep keep moving. Can you do it? Can. Good. A couple more each side. That's pretty easy, right? Good. Now pause. And now we're just going to bring the knee up and bring opposite elbow to knee. So start with your right foot. A little bit more motion. You have to use your core more. This is actually probably the most, you guys tell me, the most used one that they recommend for crossover. But it also gets your heart rate going a little bit. And it's kind of like walking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Find your grounded feet, and then cross your right foot over your left. So, and kind of adjust so you can feel really grounded through both legs. And then stretch your arms up, and then grab your right wrist with your left hand, and staying really grounded, arc. Remember last week, you contract the left side of your body, expand the right side. And then come on up, let your arms rest for a moment, and switch. Stretch on up, grab your left wrist, and arc. Keep breathing. Good, come back up. Unwind your feet and come to a forward fold. And I'm going to have you grab your blocks just to have them handy at the front of your mat. I always take this block that the dog is chewed up. And just come to a forward fold here. So make sure you have really engaged legs and feet. And fold. Couple breaths. You guys are getting so good at thinking of all the alignment principles with the really engaged legs and feet, sits bones back. Don't have to be quite as mindful with your core in this position. And then come on up to standing for a moment. Shift your weight to your right foot again. And bring your left foot up and see if you can grab it with the right hand. So cross hand, quad stretch. It's harder than just the same hand. Yeah. Just feel that. See, y'all got it though. And release and switch. Takes a while maybe to find that foot and to get everything lined up. So good for your brain. One more breath. And release it. Good. Come forward and stand. Stretch up, Tadasana. And fold forward again. And step back to all fours position. And just think active legs and feet, active hands and arms, and extend the right leg, feeling the glutes, the hamstrings, and your left arm. Take a few breaths, just noticing rib cage is really engaged, long spine. And optional, if you want a bigger challenge, bend your right knee. Reach back with that left hand, see if your foot's accessible there. And then kick back and maybe lengthen the spine, maybe a little more like cow pose. Good. Don't just drop it down. Release, extend the leg and the arm. And bring everything down. Good. Set up for the other side. So think, okay, active legs and feet, sit bones back, rib cage back. Notice all the weight in the hands is spread out. Extend left leg. And right arm. My husband's doing something in the garage right above us, and it's echoing loudly down here. If you want to add that extra challenge, bend the knee, maybe find the foot. You're going to have to take your time and then lengthen the spine, kick back. So left hand to right foot, or right hand to left foot. And then release it, extend the leg and the arm. Bring your hand down, your knee down. Take a little child's pose. Get off your hands for a moment. Breathe deep into your low back, your low belly. The cross body work is supposed to calm your, like if you're a very anxious person, it can calm you. So if you just take the time and do a few of those crossover movements, it's a good way to kind of calm you down. It helps with your visual spatial awareness. Come on up to all fours again. Bring the hands slightly in front of the shoulders. Extend the right arm and then slide it through for thread the needle. So your right arm is out. Possibly extend the left leg out to the side. So like the hand and the foot are both out to the same side. Draw your sternum back a little bit. Tuck the chin. And breathe. And then come on up as you bring the leg in and extend the left arm and sweep it through. Come to your shoulder. If you like the leg out, try it on the other side. So right leg and left arm are both extending. Your butt, you. The allergies are really bad right now, aren't they? Couple breaths. And then come on in. Bring your blocks under your hands. Step your right foot forward. And activate the legs and feet. Come on up, keep your hips square, right hip crease back, and stretch up, Anjaneyasana. And then since we're doing crossover stuff, bring hands to heart center. Make sure your rib cage is back. And then you're just gonna twist and bring left elbow to right knee. Just warming up a little bit. One more breath. And then come on back to center. Bring your left hand to the block, and I recommend it on the highest height. And this is optional because it may not be there for you. You're just gonna bend the left knee, reach back with your right hand for a little quad stretch again. Hug the knee towards the heel towards the knee, and then kind of square up your shoulders. And if you're feeling really stable, you can extend the left arm. Kick the foot back, it helps with that stability. Good, unwind. Really nice, you guys. Lift the back knee, step forward and switch. So right foot back. We got to even that out. Whoa, lower the back knee. Hug to the midline. Stretch up, Anjaneyasana. Hands to heart center. Make sure both sides of your body are super nice and long. As you twist, bring that right elbow to left knee. One more breath. And then please unwind. Left hand to knee, right hand to the block. And just see if it's not there, it's no big deal. And you can also use a belt around that foot if you want to try it. Bend the right knee, reach back with the left hand. And instead of drawing it as close as you can, I want you to kick it back. Square up your shoulders, feel the shoulder blades on the back, the rib cage on the back. And then if you feel stable, extend the right arm. Hug the knee towards the heel, heel towards the knee. Good, and then unwind. One side always feels different than the other too. Release and lift the back knee and please step forward, forward fold. And then step back to all fours again without the blocks. I forgot to do this when we were on all fours, but I want to do it because it's a good crossover. So all fours, extend the right leg and the left arm. Again. And then one more breath, just feel that, feel the hamstrings, glutes act, really work in, toes point down, bring the hand down, bring that leg off to the side. And just kind of stretch out the inner thigh. You can sway forward and back a little bit. And then keeping a really long spine, lift that foot up, bring it all the way over to your left side. See if you can get the ball of the foot down. Pause and think, okay, I have really active legs and feet. I have my sit bones back. I have a long spine, my hips are square. And then you can contract the left side of your body and expand the right and look at your foot. Oh, that feels good. See, it's a crossover. And then come on back in and switch now. Extend the left leg and the right arm. Full breath. Bring the hand down, swing that leg out to the side. And move a little bit, just stretch out inner thigh.
What have I been doing wrong?
Really?
Well, so I was gonna do that.
Okay.
Wrong. Okay.
Well, we're gonna do that
Oh, and I'm right.
next. Yeah. Yeah, you did it right.
Yeah, well, we could say that. We could use that.
Pick the foot up, bring it all the way across now onto the ball of the foot. And then just take a moment, just kind of check in with your core and then twist. Good, and then unwind. I'm gonna have you stretch your feet long and sit back on your heels for a moment, just to get off your wrists. You can move them around a little bit because we're gonna be on them a little bit more. We're gonna do some down dog fun stuff. We got the quads kind of open, so this is not too bad, right? And it gives me an opportunity to take off a layer. Didn't know if I'd get there this morning. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Oh, sorry, Mary. You're good. Find your power dog. See if you're using more parts of your hand than just the wrist. And swing your heels to the right and up and over to the left. And then back to center. Make sure your feet are hip distance, your elbows are shoulder distance, your hands are shoulder distance. I need some no, I think I need some right and left hemisphere working together here. Extend your right leg. And as you come forward, bring the right knee towards the right elbow. So you're almost a plank, and then inhale, stretch it back. And then bring knee towards nose. And stretch it back. And last one, cross over, knee towards left elbow. Pause. And stretch it back. Good. And bring the foot down. Let's go for the other side. Left leg extends. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend it. Exhale, knee to nose. It won't really touch. Exhale, extend it, or inhale, extend it. Exhale, knee crossover to right elbow, pause. And inhale, stretch it back. Bring the foot down and take a child's pose. Couple breaths. Weight off the hands and wrists. And then go ahead and slide all the way forward onto your bellies. Extend your arms straight out. Come up on fingertips there. Forehead down. Press the tops of your feet down. Activate your feet and legs. Draw the rib cage back. Lift just the right foot. So the left foot's pressing down. And then lift the left hand and the head and the shoulders. That's opposites, Shalabhasana. And release. And then go right into the other side. So press the right toes down, left leg extends and lift. Rib cage back, right hand lifts, head and shoulders. One more breath. And release it down. Slide the hands back by your chest. Go ahead and lift to a little cobra, baby cobra, just stretching everything out. And lower back down. Push back, downward facing dog. Hands wide, feet wide. Step your feet 1 foot width forward and bend the knees a lot so you can feel kind of grounded through not only your hands, but your feet as well. So you have to bend them a lot. And then reach your left hand across to your right shin and straighten the right leg if possible. Little twisted down dog. Good, unwind, switch. Right hand lifts, reaches for left shin, straighten the leg. Maybe twist a little bit, the crossover. Good, and then unwind, step your feet to your hands, forward fold. Pause. And just sway forward and back on your feet. Don't lift anything. Just feel all parts grounded, your legs super active. And then bring your hands to your knees and push yourself all the way up to standing. Okay, turn this way on your mats. Those of you at home, I'm going to stay right here so maybe people can see me, or maybe not. Bring your arms out. I guess you guys can follow me with me being here so they can see me. So we used to do this when I was a kid in grade school. It's just called windmill, and it's a crossover. So make sure your legs are engaged, maybe the knees slightly bent, because I don't want you to hurt anything as you do this. So you're just gonna windmill down, right hand to left foot, and then back up and switch. This is what we did in gym class in the 60s, right? Or in the 70s, 60s and 70s. This is another one of those things you can do. Get that crossover, help your brain out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Bend your knees, hands to your knees. Just slightly bend and then fold into Prasarita, Pratanasana. We did those. We did jumping jacks. We did the 3-legged toads. Do you remember those? What was that awful game where we threw balls at each other? Oh my gosh. Dodgeball. That was terrible. I hated that game. I know it is. Okay, now come up like a pranam and just kind of really stabilize your feet and legs. Think sits bones back, rib cage back. Now, thread your right hand under your left and grab your opposite ankle. A little twist, crossover twist. Keep your legs super engaged. And then unwind and switch. And breathe. And back to center. Just enjoy a few moments in Prasarita again. And then transitioning up, bend your knees a little bit so you can slowly come on up to standing. Ah, that feels good. Step your feet together. Grab your blocks again and come to the front of your mat. We're just going to do a couple sun salutes with that crossover idea in mind. So inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back, deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Stretch up, Anjane. Hands to heart center, little twist. Pause there and notice if you're feeling super strong and you want to, you can curl the right toes under, lift the back knee. And maybe even your blocks there, maybe even reach your right hand to your block, extend your left arm up. Possibly. It's hard. Good. Unwind. Move the blocks to the side, step back, downward facing doggy. Take your time to really find a power dog. So you feel super engaged in the shoulders. Lift the right leg up just a few inches. Come forward to plank like that. And lower down to the mat. Stretch your toes long. Lift to cobra. And exhale back down. Downward facing dog. Lift the left foot up a few inches. Come forward to plank. Lower to the mat. Cobra. And lower down. Push back to all fours, but notice how your hands are in front of your shoulders. That's how I want them. Activate your arms and your hands. This might not work for you, Mary. I don't know with your elbow. We'll see. So you're just going to come forward to like a woman's push-up position. And you're going to do crossover. So right hand taps left shoulder. Left hand taps right. Just try that. See how it feels. You have to really stay drawing your low belly up. Really keeping the rib cage back. If you want more challenge, lift your knees to regular plank and keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower your knees. Take a child's pose. Not only does crossover, but boy, it challenges your core. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. extend your right leg and step it all the way through to deep lunge. You can use the blocks again if you'd like. Lower the back knee. Stretch up Anjane. Notice your side body. Is it super engaged and long? Hands to heart center. Twist to your right, elbow, left elbow to knee. And then just kind of play with it. Press right hand into left. See if you can maybe scooch the arm a little lower. And then if it feels like you want to, you can bring left hand to the block, right arm up, and lift the back leg, back knee. Pause. Good, you can keep hands together and unwind. Good job, you guys. Step forward, please, Uttanasana. And make your way up to Tadasana, stretch your arms. And as you bring your hands to heart center, close your eyes as they come, the hands come in front of your eyes. And pause there. Just notice if you feel pretty balanced with your eyes closed. Hopefully you do. And then go ahead and lower your hands, open your eyes. And have you do one more crossover pose that's challenging. I'm going to have you bring your block a couple inches away from your right foot. At least for me, that's where it needs to be. You might have to adjust it for you because everybody's a little bit different. I notice if you have bigger thighs, it has to be away. If you have really small little thighs, then you might want it closer. So we're going to eagle legs. So find your best Tadasana with your legs, bend your knees, and shift your weight to your right foot. And as you do, lift the left heel and then think, I'm gonna lift that knee super high and cross it over the right. And then voila, bring your toes down to that block and find balance. Maybe bring hands to heart center. Hug the legs together. Sits bones back, rib cage back. Just pause there. And then unwinding. Shift the weight, lift the knee high. And come on down. So some of you can do it without the block. It's just kind of nice to have the block. So if you're doing it without the block and you can get your leg all the way around, like so, then you can hug in and it feels pretty stable. So I don't know. I've been doing it a lot of years, so it's not so hard for me, but the block is a nice little crutch. I kind of like that because then you can play with other things and think about adding the core and the legs. So everyone brought the block to the other side. I just don't want you to trip. If you have to unwind real quick, make sure that you're not going to trip on that block. Yeah. So bend both knees to start. Really active, legs and feet. Lift the knee high. Bring it across, stack knee on knee. And then hands to heart center. And just play. One side's always better than the other too. Nobody even noticed Mary because they're so focused on themselves. It's like, oh my goodness. Okay, and then coming out, lift the knee high and release. Okay, now we're gonna do it one more time, but possibly add in the arms. So let's practice the arms first. So your whatever knee is on top, that's the arm that's underneath. So the opposite knee and, or the same side. How does it work? Yes. I have to really think about this, and especially when I'm trying to mirror you. So, Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So left arm, left leg
Yes.
over, left arm under.
Yes. So it's opposite, but you have to, but it's easy to think of it that way. So let's just practice. Bring your right elbow under your left. And then you can just do this, because sometimes this is what works for you. That's fine. Maybe even your elbows aren't even on top of each other. That's fine too. Or you can try bringing the backs of the hands together. Or if you're really feeling open, you can bring the palms together. So that's the arm position. And then you really have to think, okay, my rib cage has to move back. And I'm kind of rounding, and then I try to draw the shoulder blades back, and then you'll feel more connected. So let's do the other side just for fun to see where it does. One side may feel different than the other. And Laura Scalzi, be really careful with your shoulders. Don't push it. Kind of feeling stable and not too much stretch. Good. Okay, so now let's add the legs and the arms together. So stand on your right foot, bend both knees. Lift the left knee up, cross it over, and get that. And then you're going to have your left elbow under your right. And wind them around and just get the full Garudasana or eagle pose. I think it's called eagle because you have to focus so much. That eagle eye. Good. Unwind your arms, unwind your legs. Wow. That was really good. Yeah, let's switch sides. Hopefully at home you hopefully at home you felt the same experience that we had here. It was a collective. Yes, we got it. Okay, active legs and feet. Then shift the weight to the left, bring the right knee. I like to bring it high because I have those big thighs. I have to get it over the top. And then right elbow under left. So if you can draw your low belly up, that sends your sits bones back. Really hug your legs towards each other. Maybe draw the rib cage back a little bit. And then just try this. Draw the elbows closer to the knees. That's just a weird position for it, but with that block, I feel like I can do it. And then come on up and unwind and come out. Woohoo! Okay, come back to the front of your mats with your blocks. And I'm going to encourage you to put them on the highest height. So we're going to do another twist that's a crossover. So inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down to the blocks, forward fold. And just step your right foot back about 2.5, 3 feet so that you can ground the right heel down. And I turn my toes out slightly, but I mostly want my hips to be square to the front. So if you look, your right heel, your right hip are in the same plane. Your left heel, your left hip are in the same plane. And then think, okay, really active legs and feet. Sits bones back, rib cage back, shoulders maybe back. Bring your left hand to your hip so the right hand stays on the block. And then, so your left foot, right hand are forward, your right foot and your left hand are back. And then twist, just go slow. Maybe extend the arms for twisted triangle pose. Trikonasana. It's a really tough pose. You don't have to extend the arm. You can just keep it on your hip because you want to feel the shoulder blades moving on the back plane, but the rib cage still back. Good. Now unwind. Step forward and switch. So left foot back, Just takes a while to set it up correctly so it feels pretty stable. Bring the right hand to the hip. Left hand stays on the block. Activate your core and twist. There's some of you, you know who you are, that might be able to reach your left hand across to the other block. Yeah, to the right. Yeah. If you stay stable, keep your hips stable, your legs stable. Twisted triangle. Oh, good job. And unwind. And step forward. And come on up to standing. Did you do it, Jeanette? I couldn't see. Yeah, I knew it. She's the twistiest gal I know. She's so good at those. I actually did it too. Usually I fall over when I try to do that. So. So inhale, stretch the arms up. We're going to do one more a little twisted configuration. And you can do the same thing we just did with triangle, but we're going to twisted Ardha Chandrasana. So step the right foot back. You're in that triangle pose. I'm going to have you move the right block forward about 12 to 18 inches. So it's right in front of your heel. And I'm going to move mine to medium height because I like a little more stability. So you might have to bend your left knee a little bit. Bring your left hand to your hip. Shift your weight to the left foot. Keep super active and lift the right leg up. Now just pause and think, really active legs and feet. Sit bones are back, rib cage is back. And then maybe twist. You want the weight right in the middle of your left foot to be able to stay balanced. Just play with it. Good. And then bend your front knee. Touch your left block, step back. Pause in that Tadasana position. And then step forward to switch. So left foot back. Take a moment to feel really connected. Then I have to bend my right knee to slide that block forward. Right hand to the hip. Lift left leg. And then pause, feel that. First, make sure you're all connected. And then maybe twist. Oh, it's a challenging pose. Really good, you guys. One more breath. Weight right in the middle of the right foot. And bend the knee, touch down. Bring the block back, step forward. Go ahead and move the blocks out of the way because I want you to step back to all fours. Not out of the way, but just kind of handy. So toes straight back. You might have to use a block between your heels. We're going to sit all the way back to Virasana. So if you're using, you might even need two blocks if you have knee issues or tight quads. So I like to move the calf muscle out of the way a little bit as I sit back. And then I just see, you know, if it feels like I'm not quite grounded, then you might use a blanket too. You might not need the block. You can do the blanket. Oh, good idea, Mary. She's got her blanket under her knees. And that's a good thing because a lot of times the heels are kind of, not the heels, but the ankles are the limiting factor. It used to be for me a lot. Now just kind of sit there, think, can I get the sits bones back? Can I lengthen my, you might have to bring your hands down. Can I lengthen my spine? And keep the hands back there. Reach the right arm up and over to the left knee. for a little twist. We did this earlier, but I want you to challenge yourself a little bit more this time. And then unwind left hand to right knee. I always think, am I pressing all 10 toes down and kind of hugging my heels in a little bit? But for my legs, that works best. Unwind, come forward. And go ahead and transition to your backs. But with knees bent, and check for curve in the low back. Give yourself a moment. And bring your right ankle over left thigh. Activate your feet and legs. And we all are getting frogs in our throat from the pollen in the air. Good. And then if you want more stretch, lift your left foot up, reach behind the left leg. So you have to reach through the middle to find the leg and lay your head and chest back down. Think long spine, actively trying to get a curve in the low back, even though it's probably pressed down. You can try it. I like this position because then I can use my right elbow to kind of encourage my right thigh to open a bit. You'll feel it in your right hip. One more breath. And then release the foot to the floor. Extend the right leg up towards the ceiling, interlace behind the right leg, and press the leg into your hands so that you can really feel the rib cage back, but the sits bones back as well. And then just pretend like you're going to draw a big circle with your right big toe. And then go the opposite direction. And then see what happens if you extend the left leg long. Can you keep the curve? And then this is very subtle. You're just going to cross your right foot through the mid body and keep your right hip grounded just for a little IT band stretch. This is one of my least favorites because it feels so kind of achy, but it's so good for you. And bring it back to center. Bend that knee, place it on the floor, and we'll switch. So left ankle across right thigh. You want to lift, interlace behind the right thigh. Place the right foot down, interlace behind the left leg as you shoot it up towards the ceiling. Really active legs and feet, both of them. Think long spine, make a big circle with the big toe. Switch. Extend your right leg. See if you still have that curve in the low back. Rib cage is helping you to lengthen. And then bring the leg across the midline for IT band stretch. Ooh. And come back. Release that foot and bring both feet wide on the mat with the knees bent. Arms in cactus. And then just let both knees fall to the right side. keep the curve in the low back. And then just to kind of see how it feels, bring the right hand across to the left shoulder. And just place your hand on that shoulder. And so weight it down so it feels like you're grounding. And then allow the knees to come up and over to the other side. Release your hand and we'll switch. So now left hand comes to right shoulder. Want it to be calming. So if that doesn't feel good, you don't have to do it. It feels good to me, but keep a little curve in the low back. And breathe. And then please unwind and stretch out for Shavasana. And no crossovers in Shavasana, just normal. And allow yourself to relax your legs and your feet. Hips and pelvis. Low belly, low back. Chest and shoulders, upper back. Arms and hands. Neck, jaw, eyes, scalp. And when you feel totally relaxed, focus in on your breath, not changing it, just noticing it. The journey the air takes in through the nostrils, down through the trachea, into the lungs, pushing the diaphragm, encourages that, and then traveling back out. Now, in particular, notice the pause between your inhale and your exhale. And then again, between the exhale and the inhale, I call that the sweet spot, where everything is just totally peaceful. Bless you. As you continue to relax, I just wanted to read you a reading from Marianne Williamson's book, A Year of Miracles. I have a choice whether to join in the darkness of the world, its petty judgments and constant blame. When I do so, I inject my psyche with poison. And today I choose a healthy mind. I replace all negativity with a positive attitude in which I seek to find and to articulate the good in every heart. If I disagree, I will disagree with honor. If I debate a point, I will debate with respect. If I need to draw a line for the sake of justice, I will do so with an honor for the dignity of all. Starting, notice your breath again, the journey in and out. You can begin to stretch and move. Please draw your knees in when you're ready. Roll to the right or the left, I don't really care. They always say roll to the right so your heart can adjust, you know, on top. But some people's hearts are in a different spot, so. And come on up to seated and just give yourself a few more moments. And please bring hands to heart center. I bow to and respect the light within each of you. Namaste. Thanks. Hopefully you feel all balanced.
Yeah, good. You know, though, we do that all the time. We do crossovers all the time in here.
Yeah, I know we do,
Yeah.
but it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to know,
It's a
to think of it that
It
way,
is.
and that, you know,
Yeah.
that's really good for you. Well, thanks everybody at home for being here. Have a fabulous weekend. Enjoy the
Thank you, Lisa.
April
Thank
showers.
you.
Yeah, thanks you
Lisa.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.